You're watching Chicago Bears now, just moments after the Bears take down the Carolina Panthers 23-16. A big win for the Bears to improve to 5-1 on the 2020 NFL season after taking down the Panthers on the road by a touchdown. Carolina falls to 3-3 on the win. The defense forces 3 turnovers in the victory for Chicago, and that is a big-time win for the Bears as they improve to 5-1. 83% of teams who start 5-1 in the last 30 years make the playoffs, and that's before the NFL added an additional playoff spot to each conference. So the Bears likely going to the playoffs, barring something catastrophic. So let me know, what is your one-word reaction to the Bears' 23-16 win over the Carolina Panthers? What is your one-word reaction? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. I want your live interaction on today's show. We'll get some of your questions, your comments up as well. I'll get my thoughts on this one. My one word, defense. How about turnovers, takeaways? All of those work is good. One word. Someone says surprised. Taya says bear down. Someone says unbeatable. Well, the Bears have lost games. They're not unbeatable, but overall, impressive. Bears go on the road, force 3 turnovers. A very, very good game for the Chicago Bears to get this one done. We're going to get your thoughts throughout the show. Let's go ahead and kick it off with Lee Mitten here. Hashtag Bears, if you guys can use. The O-line is the biggest problem. Is there anyone out there we can pick up? Look, I agree. The offensive line has issues. I thought it played better in the second half. David Montgomery was finally able to get some stuff going. He ended up with, I don't know, I think 50-something yards rushing. I'll pull it up for you guys here. He ended up with I think 58 yards rushing. So he was okay. Definitely wasn't great by any means. But all in all, 19 carries, 58 yards. He got involved in the passing game, 4 receptions, 39 yards. But the offensive line has struggled at times the last couple of weeks. There is no doubt about that. It's got to get better. Hopefully it can, but I don't think there's really anybody out there the Bears can sign. You could try to convince Ron Leary to come out of retirement, but is he a major upgrade? You're probably looking at a trade if you want to upgrade that offensive line. Big oink, how many QBs is too many for the Bears? Imagine a situation where they trade for sign multiple QBs and draft a rookie QB. Okay, so how many moving forward? I think next year you're probably looking at Nick Foles and somebody you draft. Whether that's Trey Lance, it's not going to be Trevor Lawrence because he's going to go number 1 overall, and the Bears are not getting the number 1 pick. Maybe they could get Justin Fields, but I think the Bears will draft a quarterback, and Nick Foles will be here. I don't think Mitchell Trubisky will be on this roster next year. I think it'll be Foles and somebody else. We'll just have to wait and see who that somebody else could be. Let's see here. Continue to get your questions in. Already went to this one, so I will mix it up. Let's see. What do you think of Nick Foles' interception? It was bad. It was a bad interception. There's no doubt about it. It was a bad play. I saw you guys. I'll get the note fixed. Bears versus Panthers on the bottom note there. Appreciate you guys shouting that out for me. So what do I think of the interception? I think it's stupid. He gets pressured and he throws it off his back foot just up for grabs, and it's picked off. Can't have it. You got to get points there to expand on that lead. All in all, I thought Nick Foles played okay. I thought he played fairly well. He was smart with the football for the most part, but he threw that pick and almost threw another one late in the first half. 23 of 39, 198 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Did have a QB sneak for a touchdown as well. But in the end, not a great performance from Nick Foles, but good enough, right? Managed the game, bounced back after that pick, let him down. The Bears were able to get more points there to expand the lead even further. So I think he played, good enough. Is this version of Nick Foles good enough to contend at a high level in the playoffs? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not so sure. We will have to wait and see about that. But hey, winning's winning, baby. 5-1 on the season. So I feel pretty good about this Bears win. Who was the Bears MVP today? We will let me know in the comment section who was the Bears MVP. I'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, and you guys can decide right there who was the Bears MVP in the 23-16 win over the Carolina Panthers. Some more reaction here. Continue to get your questions in using hashtag Bears. Get your analysis in as well. Bears 23, Panthers 16. Let me know who you guys think the MVP of this game was in the comment section. I'll continue to get your questions in here. As Sports Combo asks, what do you think the Panthers could have done better to win? I guess we got a Panthers guy infiltrating us here on Chicago Bears Now. Don't turn it over. Teddy Bridgewater threw 3 interceptions. To kind of spin this in favor of the Bears here, the Bears defense was fantastic. They played awesome. Teddy Bridgewater was uncomfortable. He did not play well. 16 of 29, 216 yards, and a couple of interceptions. The Bears defense also was able to force a fumble. So I think turnovers were the story of this game. Chicago had 1, Carolina won 3. That is the difference in this ball game. That is why the Bears were able to get it done at the end of the day. And that's why I feel like the Bears can continue to have success moving forward, because this defense, it is absolutely elite. There is no doubt about that. So the Bears 23, Panthers 16, largely due to that defense. Yo, X, how much of a difference do you see between the Bears pass blocking, the Bears run blocking? It does seem like the pass blocking is better right now. To gauge how much of a difference, that's hard to say. I'm not going to sit here and say the Bears have an elite pass rushing offensive line and a piss poor rushing offensive line. The run blocking is below average, and maybe the pass blocking is average. I don't think it's a monumental difference between the two, but there is a difference. Nick Foles has more time and a better opportunity than David Montgomery has to run through open holes, because there just hadn't been any. Kevin Network says, how can we score more points per game? Look, Bears are averaging 21 coming into this game. They scored 23. O-line's got to play better. I know we keep harping on that, but I think that is going to be one of the only ways the Bears end up scoring 25, 27, 28 points per game, is if they are able to create holes off for this running game, because the Bears are built to run the football. They're not built to have Nick Foles sling it 40 times a game. He threw it 39 against the Panthers today. You don't want that. You want him in the low 30s, 30 to 33 passes, run the football 30 times as a team, win that way. Win with ball control, win with defense. That is a recipe for success for the Chicago Bears. Now, we're pretty successful here on Bears Now because we launched in January and we've got well over 13,000 subscribers. So hit that sub button if you have not done so already. Help us out. Get subscribed to Chicago Bears Now. We got videos going up every single day. We do post-game reaction after every single game. We preview every single game here on Chicago Bears Now. The latest news, the latest rumors around your Chicago Bears. We cover it here on the channel. So go ahead, get subscribed. That way you never miss a thing here on Chicago Bears Now. All right, next up is Magoo. What do the Bears have to do to go deep into the postseason? The defense has to continue to play at a high level, which it has throughout this season. How about Khalil Mack, by the way? Let's talk about him for a sec. He was fantastic yet again. Had another sack, had a couple of tackles for loss, had 4 tackles. He looks like an elite player again after having a somewhat down year last year. He's healthy now. He looks really, really good. I am impressed with him. But if the Bears are going to go deep into the postseason, the offense has to be a little bit better. The offense is, I think it's slowly getting better. It played better today. It did. Nick Foles looked more comfortable through a bad pick. But if he doesn't do that, the Bears probably score 30 points because they were inside the 20 when he threw that interception. Can't have it. It's no excuse, but it's just a fact. I think they would have scored more points if that didn't happen. Offense seems to be a little bit better, and the defense needs to keep doing what they have been doing. Kyle Fuller, question from HW. Does Kyle Fuller have a shot at Defensive Player of the Year? Kyle Fuller, it's hard for a corner to win, and of course I say that when Stephon Gilmore won the award last year, so it is possible. Fuller's been really good. There's no doubt about it. Had another hard hit today that was called a penalty. I thought it was a clean play, but it got called as a unnecessary roughness penalty. But I think he's got to rack up more interceptions. Gilmore won it last year because he had 20 pass breakups and 6 interceptions, and the Patriots won 12 games. You got to be on a winning team, and you have to have a ton of volume stats. And for corners, that's interceptions and pass breakups. He's only got 1 interception this year, so it's going to be tough for him to win the award, but maybe he can get there. We'll have to wait and see. Something that isn't tough is betting on the Chicago Bears because they're 5-1. You can make some money with Bet Rivers when you go to chatsports.com/betil. Go to that link, get going with Bet Rivers. You can get that 100% deposit bonus. It's the best deal out there. And here's the deal as well. For you guys getting going with Bet Rivers, like I said, 100% deposit bonus. You also must be in the state of Illinois to bet. But luckily, you guys are all Bears fans for the most part, and a lot of you live in the state of Illinois. So go to chatsports.com/betil. Get going with our sports betting partner, Bet Rivers, and make some money on the Bears this season because they made a lot of people some money because they were road underdogs against Carolina for whatever reason, and they proved the haters wrong getting it done today. So go ahead, get going with Bet Rivers, chatsports.com/betil. TSAO, #Bears. The Bears seem to always end up getting bad calls. It's starting to feel like we play the refs every game too. Don't blame the ref guy. There's bad calls in every game. You're probably referring to Eddie Jackson once again having a pick six called back for interference. I thought in real time Kyle Fuller hit the receiver early. He jumped on his back. It was close, but look, that's part of the game. Every game isn't going to be perfectly officiated. The Bears won. Let's focus on that. The Bears are 5-1. Let's focus on that. That is what is important here for the Chicago Bears. I think moving forward, look, you can't harp on bad calls. It is what it is. Let's focus on Tayshaun Gibson setting the tone early. Gets a pick, and Cole Kmet is able to plug that in for a touchdown. I want to focus on that. Let's get Cole Kmet more involved. 2 catches, 20 yards, and a touchdown. Don't worry about the refs. That's going to take care of itself. The offense needs to continue to improve, and the defense needs to continue to fall out. Number 4 scoring defense coming into today, and that number is going to go up because the Bears are giving up 20 points per game. Today only gave up 16 to the Carolina Panthers, so we'll continue to improve offensively, and the Bears will be in good shape moving forward. All right, I got time for a couple more, so continue to use #Bears. Get your questions in. Let's see. Ethan is asking, what do you think of Jalen Johnson's PI that led to the Mike Davis TD? You guys and the refs, man. I actually did not like that call. I agree with you. Didn't think it was a great call. But again, sometimes there's contact. The NFL is officiated from an offensive standpoint. The league wants teams to score because that sells. That makes money. The NFL doesn't like how the Bears play. They don't like low-scoring defensive games because the general public isn't interested in that. Bears fans love that. But, the average fan wants to see points scored, and unfortunately, that is not typically what you get with Chicago Bears games. It is typically pretty low scoring. So we'll ask a question here, then I'll get a couple more of your thoughts, and then we'll go ahead and sign off here. NFC North champs. Bears 5-1. Packers play against the Bucs here on Sunday. Who's going to win this division? Type CHI for the Bears. Type GB for the Packers. We can go ahead and get rid of the Lions and Vikings. They're irrelevant. Minnesota was getting stomped by Atlanta last time I checked. Let me know. CHI for the Bears. GB for the Packers. I say that looking ahead to the Bears' schedule moving forward here. Got the next 5 games for you guys. Next 5 weeks, I should say, because week 11 bye. At the Rams next week. That'll be a good test. Versus the Saints. At the Titans. Versus the Vikings. These next 3 games, we're about to find out how legit the Bears are. We know this defense is legit. Can the offense keep up with Drew Brees and the Saints? Can this team play a complete 60 minutes on the road against the Rams? They did it against the Panthers today. Can they do it against the Rams and the Titans? Those are going to be some 2 tough road games in a row. So we will have to wait and see what happens there. Who's got the final word here? Kevin Billups, we'll end on you. Our defense is championship caliber if Quinn can keep up. Yeah, Robert Quinn's got to get going. But with our schedule, is the offense average going to be enough? So I'll go back to the schedule. We just showed you the next 5 games here for the Chicago Bears, and it's going to be tough. It is absolutely going to be tough these next 3 weeks. At the Rams, versus the Saints, at the Titans. I think this team can do it. Do I expect this team to go 4-0 before the bye week and be 9-1 through 10 games? Not really. I think even 2-2 the next 4 games would be okay. You're shooting for 3-1. You can go 3-1, get to 7-2 at the bye week. You're feeling good about yourself in the final stretch when you play the Packers twice over the final few weeks of the season. The next month is big. The next month is big. You can't go 0-4. You can't go 1-3. Got to go at least 2-2 these next 4 weeks. I think you can beat the Vikings at home. That's a team you should win. Can you win 1 or 2 of the other 3 games? That is the question I want to know. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on that front. But those are my thoughts with some of your thoughts intertwined as well. Bears win 23-16. Reminder, if you haven't already, get subscribed to the channel. Got videos going up all the time. We'll have reaction to this game, even more reaction throughout the week. The latest Bears news, rumors. We'll see if there's any injury updates for you guys. We'll cover it all here on Bears Now. Leading up to Week 7 against the Los Angeles Rams, I'm Harrison Graham signing off here on Chicago Bears Now.